record this computer. Yeah, it looks like it's recording. I'm sorry, I just want to make sure, double check. Yes. Okay. All right, very good. Hate to do all that work and then it not be there. Okay, so my name is Roxana Guerrero. I am originally from Austin, Texas, and I came to Corpus Christi. I worked at South Park Middle School as an 8th grade teacher. And then I stayed home with my beautiful daughters. I have 3 daughters and stayed with them for about 6 years. School, then I went back and worked at King High School teaching algebra. From there, I became a math coach at the secondary level, and so I worked with a lot of math teachers. From there, the Office of Instructional Technology was open, and so they moved me to there. I was very blessed to be in that position, and so this is my 6th year in instructional technology. I really like it. I really enjoy it. And we're going to be going over Canvas Apprentice level today, really looking at the navigation of the global navigation on Canvas. We have Mr. Dennis Whistler here with us. Dennis, would you like to say a little bit about yourself?
Hi, y'all. This is my 16th year with CCISD. I served 7 years at Moody High School as a social studies teacher, and then another 6 at Collegiate High School. Now I work with a fantastic team with the Office of Instructional Technology, and I'm here to support Roxana today, who is absolutely fabulous.
So Dennis is going to be helping me with the chat box. If you have questions, please feel free to put your questions in the chat box, and he is going to help me with that. And yes, I forgot to do that again. And so thank you for being here today. I hope you've been having a good day. I hope things are going well for you. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so you should see my screen on your computer. And this is kind of cool. This was, I'm in a lot of courses. One of the courses I'm in is the course for the Atkins Middle School. And so this is what it looks like when you put in there a text in an announcement, and then you put in a flyer. So this is a flyer that went out to all of the parents and students at Atkins saying when they were going to be picking up their materials and their schedules. So I wanted to leave that there so you could see it. All right, so in Canvas, we have on the left-hand side the global navigation. This global navigation is a dark area. It's gray, like a dark gray. And that is global because it doesn't matter what course you're in, that navigation will always stay there. Once you go into a course, then you get a second navigation, and we call that the course navigation. So we'll be looking at that in a little bit. I want to go ahead and start at the top. So if you were a secondary school, you probably looked at some of this already, but we're going to go ahead and go through it. Up here at the top where it says accounts, I can click on accounts. And the very first option is notifications. And in notifications, there's going to be some that you really want to think about turning on so that you are notified right away when certain things happen inside of Canvas. At the top, they remind you what it is that you have. We have here, notify me right away with a check. The little clock is daily summary. The little calendar is a weekly summary. And then over here, I don't see anything. So you can choose to have that turned off. On the global navigation, notice that I have the little words under each of the icons. At the very bottom, I have a little arrow. So if I click the arrow, thank you, Dennis. If you click the little arrow at the bottom, it will minimize it so it's just the icons, or if you click it back again, toggle on and off, it opens it up so you have the global navigation. Yesterday, someone called saying that they didn't have it. You might have to do control minus minus will zoom you out and you can see a little bit more of your screen. So it might be there, but it might be hiding outside of the screen window. So that's so that happens, you can do control minus minus and you zoom out. So here in navigation, in your global navigation, we're in accounts, we're in notifications. So while we go down here, you can kind of look, this is minimum and these are recommended. So this due date right here, we have it checked for notify me right away. As a teacher on your campus, you will probably be made a student on the faculty hub for your school. And so if there are lesson plans or T-tests or that needs to be turned in the course, if you have this little button checked, then it's going to notify you right away that something is coming up or something is due. The same thing with your students. If you put in an assignment, a discussion, a quiz, something that you need from them, and you have them click that check for due date, then they will be notified right away. Now, I have 3 columns here. You probably only have 2 columns or 1 column. The reason I have this last column here is because I downloaded the Canvas teacher app. And so I was able to decide on my Canvas teacher app what I wanted to go to my cell phone. I have the second one. I have the short username and the long one. Usually it's the short one, I believe. So, so you will have 1 column often. Right down here on the under course activities, I also have announcements. So I have it checked off. If my principal is sending me an announcement, I'll get that right away. Or if I as a teacher is sending an announcement, then my students will get that right away. I also have the one underneath checked so that when I send it as a teacher, it's going to come back to me. So I know it's working and I can see what it is that they received. So those 2 for your teacher, those 2 should be checked off on announcements. For students, they probably don't have that particular option. So that was 3 buttons in notifications. Are we still okay? Give me a thumbs up. A thumbs up, yes, in the window, good. Okay. Going further down, this one here is very important. Know also that when you hover over the titles, like when I just stop there, if I hover over the title, it's going to tell me what it means. So this one says submission comment, assignment submission comments. And what that one is I went ahead and put it, I want to hear it daily, get notified daily, but you can do right away if you want. This has to do if for yourself, let's see, for the student, if you put a comment in something they've turned in, like feedback, then if they have this checked, they'll get the feedback right away. And if they respond to you and you have it checked, then you will get that feedback right away and let you know that there's something there. Sometimes it's out of sight, out of mind, so it's important to have it checked. And I'm gonna put mine on daily. So right now there's a lot of courses going on that I'm a teacher in, so I'm just gonna make it daily so I just get one big summary. Okay, let's continue. Going further down, these conversations, these buttons have to do with the idea that we have an inbox in the global navigation. And so like mine says 274, that's probably for the past 5 years. I probably do need to get rid of those. And I finally figured out a way to get rid of them quickly other than one by one. Let's see, so if you have all 3 of these checked off, then your students are able to contact you through the inbox. And so you will be notified right away if you get information from them. You can contact a student, you can contact a parent, parents can contact the teacher, the parents can contact the student. Parents cannot contact other students, they can only contact their own, and students cannot contact other parents, they can only contact their own. So it's very secured, and so know that this is how the students and the parents can get a hold of you, and you can get a hold of them. And then going further down in scheduling under calendar, I went ahead and checked that one off for right away. If there's something in the calendar that's coming up or it's due, let me know. And then way down at the bottom under alerts, the global navigation, this is coming from your principal who can make an announcement for the whole school, or from the district, they can make an announcement for the entire district. Those you want to have checked right away so that you could get that information. And put in the chat box, are you getting like 200 to 300 emails from Canvas letting you that someone enrolled or someone changed something in a course? Is anybody getting those 200 to 300 emails? I see Celine, oh my gosh, we need to fix that. So right here where it says, and Kevin, oh bless your heart, my goodness. Right here where it says administrative notifications, if I hover over it, look at all those things. Migrating reports, new user, new student group, content export. Every time somebody does one of those, then you're gonna get an email. Brandy said, you were really on the welcome committee and you didn't know, but that's not true. So right here, instead of having it checked, or the clock, or the calendar, you wanna have it X. The X will allow those to stop and those will no longer be to you and you will no longer be on the welcome committee. So Ms. Vasquez or Mr. Vasquez, that's what you're gonna need to do. And this one is global for all courses. It's under your account, so it pertains to all of the courses. Some of the other things we do is only course specific, but when you fill out these checks, these are specifically only for account. And so they go with, put that one, yeah. They go with your account. So all the courses will, anything that happens in any course you're in with the due date, you will get it right away. Okay, so I'm gonna stop there and see if there are any questions.
Really, one question was on the global navigation. There was someone who wasn't able to, I guess, collapse and uncollapse that global navigation using that arrow on the very bottom. Can you show that to folks real quick?
Yeah, it's right here down at the bottom. Let's see if I can bring this up a little bit.
Now I can collapse it. I can use that arrow to collapse it. What I don't have the entire global navigation bar. I only have the dashboard, course, calendar, inbox, and backpack and help. I don't have the commons and the curriculum.
Okay, if you will, yes. And what school are you at?
I'm a vision teacher. I'm an itinerant teacher, so I travel throughout the district. I have several campuses that I have students at.
Okay, if you will shoot me an email, roxana.guerrero@ccic.us, and I will send it to whoever that pertains to. You can also go to help desk and see if they can do it on that side. I'm not sure if you can fix that. I do know that teachers have access to the CCIC Apple, which is right here, but students do not. And so you should.
Okay, yeah, and I would, yeah, I would need access to that because I have to get the assignments from the students so that I can convert everything into Braille. So that's the only way I can get the assignments.
Oh, bless your heart. Very good. Okay, very nice. Then we'll go ahead and continue. So hopefully we can get that fixed for you. All right, the next button, you may not have its admin. So we're gonna go here to dashboard. When I click on dashboard, you're gonna get the default look. And the default look is going to be a card view. So it's taking a second. When the card view comes up, it's underneath. If I have any announcements, it's gonna be underneath. So it looks like this. And so this is a new look from last year. If there are some returning teachers, then notice that at the top it says published courses, just right here. I have lots of courses that are published. And so you are going to be seeing your courses move in this area as you publicize them. Excuse me. When you scroll down to the bottom, excuse me, you have unpublished courses. So if you have a course with that's live with students in it, you'll notice that you might have one that says like 2021 full year or 2021 fall semester. It will be really light gray letters. If you have that, that means you need to go ahead and complete the syllabus in that course and go ahead and publish it. So you would publish it right here on that button. Once you publish it, it does then jump to the top and you're over here. So on this particular one, faculty example, I could publish right here. This is gonna happen once. I click on it. And it says, before publishing your course, you must either publish a module or choose a home page. I'm gonna choose the syllabus. I haven't worked in it. It's just that one that I used as an example. So I chose the syllabus and I'm choosing to choose and publish. And now when I look at mine, the course is gonna hop up here and it's gonna be on the top side where they are published. And here it is, my faculty example has been published and it no longer has that little button there on the left. And then everything else that I have not published is gonna be right down here. So when you look at your dashboard, you can see right away if you've remembered to publish or not publish. Now, some people say, well, there's a lot of courses here and you can, some of them you use a lot, some of them you don't, some of them may not pertain to you as much. Here's a way that you can do favorites. So before I do that, let me show you this. So if I wanted to see how this is green, there's a green button here. I can choose a different color. Maybe I wanted this to be more like a fuchsia hot pink. I click on, let me go back. I click on the 3 dots. I click on the color I want and I hit apply. And now this turns this color. It's kind of an overlay and I can do different colors, and it doesn't mess anything up. As a teacher, I can have favorite colors, like different color for each period or different color for different content. Students can do that. It's just a way to organize it for yourself.
I'm sorry, can you please do that one more time?
Yeah, it's just if you just go ahead and like at the top right of your tile, there's 3 dots.
Okay, got it.
Click on there, you can choose it.
Okay,
And then
thank you.
So that is also for you to help you out. Now, I have too many on here, and maybe this, let me see.
Ms. Guerrero.
Yes.
Hey, I have those 3 dots, but I don't have a circle around it. Does it matter too much?
No, it doesn't. It just, they probably put the circle there so you can visually see it better. Because I don't see it on this one. This one doesn't have it, but this one does. And that one is, there's a darker background, so it's okay. But let's say this new teacher orientation, I'm pretty much done with this one. And if this was one I didn't want to show, my other areas, I could go here to courses. When I go to courses, it's gonna list the ones I'm in. Now I'm in a lot of courses. I do lots of different work with lots of people, but you won't have that many. At the very bottom of this list, it says all courses. You're gonna click on all courses, and it's gonna give you a listing of all the courses that you're associated with. You're either a teacher or a student. So over here on the right-hand side, it will tell you if you're a teacher or a student or what your role is. And at the far right, it tells you if it is published. I've noticed that on this listing, all the ones up here in white are gonna be published. See here, I'm a student, here I'm a student, I'm a teacher. But if I keep going, as soon as it turns gray, over here, they're no longer published. These say they're not published. And so it kind of is letting me know that these here in this area are not published. And then for those teachers that are returning, anything that you did last year will be in past enrollments. And then right down here is listing all the different courses that you still have access to. They're archived. They are read only. So you can click in there and take a look at a particular course and see if you want to go find one of your favorite activities that you put together, or maybe something you remember. Or you could go in there, like I'm going to click on Algebra 1. And this is something I did a while back. Here's my profile and my course description. If I wanted to grab that so I wouldn't have to retype it, I could cut it or copy it and go put it into my new courses that are my current courses this year. So that's just a way that you could go back and take a look at courses that were from the past. If you were not here in the district last year, then you probably won't have courses in there. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you in here.
Wait. How do you get rid of one of your tiles? Like last year's sandbox. I don't need that anymore.
Okay, so I was about to show you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to look at the past enrollments. Okay, hello, Mr. Vino.
Yes.
Nice to see you. So notice here that you have some stars are orange and some of them are white. If all of your stars are completely white, that means everything is showing because you haven't gone in there to make a favorite. As soon as you click on a star, like say this one here is turned off, if I click on that one and it turns on, I've now begun to do my favorites, and any star that is orange, those are the tiles that are going to show up on your dashboard. So I'm going to turn that one off, and I'm going to go look for my new teacher orientation. They're alphabetical. Let's see if
How did you turn it off?
you just click on the little star. It toggles on and off.
Okay, so if it's a color or red, then it doesn't show up.
Correct.
Okay,
So here,
thank you.
yeah, the new teacher orientation, I used this before school started for some sessions. This is 2020. It's orange. So when I click on it, it turns white and it no longer will be in my dashboard. That doesn't mean I got rid of it. Like some people were trying to click on RTI and make it disappear. It doesn't go away. It's still there. You're still responsible for that, but it's in the background. And so if you wanted to pop up and show on your dashboard, then you would want to make sure your little star is that orange, that red orange. So I turned it off, and then I can go to my dashboard, and I'm going to go see if my new teacher orientation card is there, and it's not going to be there because I turned it off. Now it didn't go away. It's in the background, but I think it popped up here and then it went away. So I can decide which ones I'm going to have showing and which ones I'm not going to show. So just so you know, it's important to have live sessions showing where you have students, so you're going to be accessing those. Your faculty hub should be showing. Your sandbox for this year should be showing. But if you have one from last year, like Ms. Trevino said, you could go ahead and turn that little star off and keep it in the background. It doesn't go away, it just kind of hides. Thank you, Ms. Trevino. I like that. And then this one here, I think I'm done with this particular flyer, this announcement. So I can just X this out and it'll go away. Any announcements that the students X out because they've read it, that you have sent from your course will land in the announcements and it'll keep track there. We're trying to figure out, and Dennis, if you have more information, you can help me with this. That was sometimes global announcements come out from the district, and if you click it off, it goes away, you don't see it again. So I'm thinking they're working with that to figure out where we can put those so people can go back and refer to them. Dennis, do you have on that?
That will show up on the account feature, and that is soon to be released. When you click on account, everyone will have access to that, and it'll show on there. I actually checked that yesterday and didn't see it, so I don't believe they have pushed that feature out just as of yet.
Okay, very good.
And what's it called?
Global announcements.
Okay.
They come from your principal and they come from the district. All right, so this is the default look. I like it, it has colors. But if you go over here on the top right, there's 3 little vertical dots. This is a menu. I also call it my little skinny snowman. When I click on that one, I can change the view to a list view. So it's gonna list different things for me instead of the tiles. It's gonna list it by date. And notice that on August 5th, I have a couple of things that are due. And August 6th, I have some things due here also. And I can load more, and it's gonna show me all my different assignments or activities that I have to get done. So that's one way to do it. There's different options up here. You can go and play. You can, I think right here, there's a little grade book. It kind of shows you the grades and where you're at. And so you could, the students would see the different courses and it would have whatever grade they're in. Now, while I'm talking about grades, the Canvas will keep track of grades that you're giving students for their submissions, and it will let you know if it's late. It will let you know if it's missing. It will help you a lot. Well, the one thing you need to let your students know, as of today, right now, Canvas is not the official gradebook. The Home Access Center is the official gradebook for the district. We are, our software engineers are working to get both platforms to communicate, to work with each other. So know that Canvas will keep track of grades, but those don't necessarily match what you have in eSchool Plus. So if you are talking about grades in Canvas, that's kind of more of a summary page for what your students have turned in. May not necessarily match your Home Access Center or your Teacher Access Center. That's a lot of information there, so I'm going to wait for a second to see if you have any questions about that.
Looks like we're good.
Okay, very nice. And then over here, my skinny snowman, I can click there again. I can also click on the third one, which is recent activity. And the recent activity, it was going to give it to you by announcements, conversation messages. Like, it looks like there's an inbox there. That one's new because Mr. Ellis, he doesn't always send me inboxes. So I'll have to check that one. Here is assignment notifications and discussions. So it kind of organizes it for the student, and they can kind of see things that are coming up and get more information. So students like to change the view. I just wanted to let you know as a teacher that you can do the same thing. I'm going to go back to my skinny snowman. I'm going to click on card view, and now I'm back to the default look with all the pretty colors and all the different types. On the right-hand side, we have what we call the right side panel. This one is very dynamic on the right side. Depending on what type of page you're on, it will change. So on the dashboard, you have
It's still not, huh?
Thank you, Dennis. At the top, you have here, I'm a teacher, so it's going to tell me the things that I have to grade. So say, for instance, Right here it says grade assignment number 3, evidence of work. This is a do it. This came from my ITC course, my instructional technology chair course. Looks like there's 27 things I need to grade. And so that's a lot. So I would probably click on there and go ahead and get started. So the teacher sees things that they have to grade. As you become, or you see the student here, it says turn in, get to know you, turn in application, complete Ninja Nearpod. So the students will see things that they have to get done. Teachers will see things that they have to grade and so forth. Underneath that, we have the coming up. These are things that are coming up in the calendar. There might be assignments, there might be events. This one looks like it's a reading daily Zoom at 8 a.m. It's a calendar event. This one has a little paper with a pencil. That's the icon or the symbol for an assignment. So I have 2 assignments coming up and an event. Underneath that, your students will have recent feedback. When they turn in or they submit work to you, you can give them a grade, you can give them feedback. On their dashboard, they will see that there is feedback for a particular course. They can click on there and see what the teacher had to say for them in regards to the feedback. Now this little button here, start a new course, you don't necessarily need to use that button. If you are a new teacher and you don't have a sandbox, then that would be a good reason to start a new course, would be a sandbox. You would put your name here. I'm going to do my Roxana Guerrero, and then I would do in capital letters sandbox so that I know for sure this is my sandbox. Now, if you're new, a sandbox course is where you can go and play and build and get rid of things and start again and make it look good. It's where you can play and there's no students in it, so you're not going to hurt anyone. If you went and played inside of a live course, you might start messing things up. So it's better to play in your sandbox, practice in there, and then go to your live course and do the actual work there. So if I was creating...
Where's the sandbox?
Let me show you just a second. So I would put my name, sandbox in capital letters, and I would create the course. It's on your dashboard on the bottom of the right panel. At the way bottom, it said start a new course. You would click there. If you don't see it on your right panel, you might be zoomed in too much and it's going to fall at the very bottom of the screen. So it would be right down here. You might see it down there if it's not on the right side panel.
And then we'll have a tile at the bottom unpublished as a sandbox?
Yeah, you would then have to publish your sandbox and it would go jump up to the top. And that would just be for your own sake, for your own individual practice. The only other reason you might start a new course would be if you had a club, like a technology club, wink, wink. You could add students in there and have resources and little assignments or tasks that they could do. So you could start a course for a club and you would have to get your students enrolled in there. So the difference between this course tile is there's no students and it's for practicing. Your real tiles have students in them, have parents in them, and are visible depending on what you publish.
And so if we publish that one, the students would be able to see it?
You can publish it, but you don't have students in it, so they do not see it, no.
Oh, okay.
The
You only
people
see whatever
associated
child
with
there
the
is.
course will see it, correct. Yes, so I'm gonna say that again, only the people in your course. I'll remember to show you people. Those people will be the ones that will be able to see what's in the course that you have published. They have to be associated with your course. Okay.
The sandbox, I just want to say, like the sandbox, if I want to do a little video clip to put in there, I'll do it in my sandbox first. And then when it's got it the way I want it, then I can move it into my course.
If you're using the media tool, it doesn't move very nice. You can practice in your sandbox until you get it. You can practice the media tool in a live course because it will let you start over until you got it. And then when you have it, you can hit save. The sandbox for me is more like when I was learning how to put Nearpod integrated into Canvas, I wanted to see what it would look like. So I practiced there. And when I learned the skill, then I went and did it in my live course. Okay, very good. Thank you. Great questions.
That's kind of what I meant because I'm practicing and it was like Nearpod or Google Slides. Or, yeah.
Oh, okay, very good. Yes, I thought you meant the media tool. I misheard. Okay, So now we're going down. I already showed you courses. So let's talk a little bit about calendar. So I'm going to click on calendar. Your students have a calendar too. So, and I want you to be cognizant of how I'm showing you and what we're doing. You will probably have to go through this with some of your students, find out who's new to it and who's not. And you'll probably have to remind them that there's some things in there that can help you. So as I'm showing you, be cognizant of how I'm showing you and think about how you are going to turn around and show your students. All right, so I've already clicked it a couple of times. I guess my Wi-Fi is running a little slow, but here's the calendar. And I have some things in there already. I love it. And so notice that over here, there's some different things on August 3rd and 4th, and they've already been marked through. There's a strike through it. So that means that I've probably already turned it in. I don't know if, yeah, I think that if you've already turned it in, it'll strike through. So you can see as a student, I don't have to worry about those. I need now to move to August 5th, 6th, and 7th.
So how did you get that to your calendar?
Great question. Love this question. Due dates are very, very important in Canvas. So when you do a due date in an assignment, in a quiz, or in a discussion, and even on a content page, if you want them to look at it, that could be a due date. They land on 5 different places. It's going to land on the assignment. It's going to land, remember, in our dashboard in the to-do. That assignment's going to go there. It's going to land in the calendar. It automatically puts it there for the students. It's going to land in the dashboard when we saw the listing or the recent activities. It shows up there. And then it also lands in the student Canvas app. If they have it on their cell phone, it lands there. So whenever you attach a due date to any of those activities, it automatically does it for you. And so teachers who chose not to put due dates, they weren't getting any like publicizing of their assignment. So yes, these are all things that have due dates. Notice that I have 4 different, or 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 different things due on the 5th, 1 on the 6th, and 2 on the 7th. And those are just because I added a due date. If I wanted to see the difference between some of these, I don't know which courses those are, I could go here to the course where these are coming from, and I can turn it off. So some of those, all of those will go away. Or I can say, you know what, I want a different color. Maybe I'm better with green. Sorry, I didn't tell you. Right here on the right side, I have another skinny snowman. I can click it and change the color. And so I know that for my one course, the teacher is crazy. She's giving me something to do every single day. So you can see there that it will start filling up as you start putting in due dates and the students start going visiting all their teachers. You can also see a weekly view. So that's available. It's gonna show up here in a second. I think these are due at midnight, so they're at the very bottom. You can see it in an agenda view. So there you go again. You can kind of see, kind of puts it in order as to priority of when it's due. And then right next to it, there is also a plus sign. The little plus sign is for whenever the student wants to kind of organize and budget their time. So if they have a big project or a test coming up on Friday, they can go in there, click the little plus sign, and they can put themselves little to-do lists. So study chapter 1 on Tuesday, chapter 2 on Wednesday. So right here on my to-do list, or my to-do, they can go in and kind of organize their study time. So that's available there. And there is one here for assignments. I would ask you to maybe create the assignment inside the module instead of the calendar. And then there is a place where you can just do an event. So the event might be your web conference. It might be a web, like a PTA meeting or something like that. It could be lots of different things. Maybe it's a tutorial that you have. You can go ahead and put it in here. And right down here, it tells you where do you want it to land. So I could say, you know what, I needed to go to that course, and everyone in that course will see that particular event. And then you just go ahead and submit it and you're good to go. So they can either fall in there from adding due dates, or you can add some things in there that are events, or add even as a teacher, you can do your to-dos. Hey, I got to get that T-test paragraph taken care of before the 13th and so forth. Questions on the calendar?
Hey, we're adding our assignment in the module, and then it's going to pop up on this calendar, correct?
Correct, for you as a teacher and for your students. So some students don't know to go look here, so you'll have to say, hey, y'all know y'all have a calendar? Click on the calendar and then find Social Studies grade 7, and you'll be able to see everything that's due for Social Studies. So if you have a test coming up in 2 weeks, you can make sure you have like a review due the day before so they can see that they need to have that done and kind of help them with the time management. All right, so now we're going to go to the next one. This is the inbox. I'm going to click on inbox. And in the inbox, this again is a way for them to communicate with you, and you can communicate with them, especially if it's you need to get some information to one particular student, you can do that. So on the left side, Mr. Ellis is telling me there's a dead link in the blended learning course, so we'll have to look into that. Right over here in the middle, it's kind of small. You have like a paper with a pencil. If you hover over it, it says compose a new message. So I'm going to click on that. It's asking me to select the course. So I'm going to go here to favorite courses. These are the ones that are on my dashboard, my favorite courses. And I'm looking for, let me see if I could go down. I'm looking for my ITC course. That one has the most people in it. So I'm going to click on that one. And then I know who's in there. I can go ahead and start typing Maria, and all my Marias will show up. I wanted to go to Maria Cavazo, and then maybe I'm looking for Brandy. I can spell her name right. So any Brandys, there's a Brandy Addison, Garza, and Shattuck. I'm going to say Brandy Addison. So I can do it like that. If I had a second period, to get an information, to get a message to my second period class, I can type in the section and it will come up. Let me see if, I don't know what sections are in there. Let me say rocks, Guerrero's people. So maybe I needed to go to Guerrero. I could go all in Guerrero's people. I can either do everyone that is in my group, I can do the students, or I could do the observers of those people in that group. So I'm gonna say all theirs. So I can go ahead and put all the people that I want this message to go to. I can give it a title, and then right here, I can go ahead and put in the whatever information or message that I have. Now, this little button here is very exciting in that if I click that button, even though there are probably about 13 people in this message, when I click that button, it's gonna send it to each of the 13 people individually, so that it is personalized, and we like that so that they don't feel, or they can see what the message is going to other people. So it makes it more personalized, and it saves you from making 13 different emails or inbox messages. You can just do one and then it goes out there. Okay, questions?
Can you email the parents through this?
Yes.
Or can you message them?
Yes. When I was doing, let me see, when I do this one, those people, you could do a section. You can choose to do students or observers, or a particular parent. You could do that also. You can start typing in that name in there. I don't know if I do, let me see. If I type here, no. Well, it should have come up.
So observer is parent?
The observer is a parent, because parents really can't do much in Canvas but observe what's going on and observe their student work. Yes.
Can you create like the link like where it says teachers for parents for period 1, or like
yes,
just itself where it's just those parents for that period?
Yes, you could probably put in the section and it'll say either students or observers. There's also a way in Canvas that you can do a section just for parents. I think, let me think. Well, here it did let me do that. Once I had the section, I could choose if it was the student or the parent. So it does it for you.
Okay, so what if you don't have the section though? Mine only shows teachers.
Yes. So there's a way of doing that. You would do it in sections under the tab, or you would go to settings and it would be like the second or third tab. It would be sections, and you could create a section and then you would manually put the students in there or possibly the parents. If you do the students, then the students and the parents both get the message. But that's a different session. I like that question. So if you email me, I will try to get either a training to you, or maybe you could go to the Canvas guides. We'll talk about that in a second, where you could go look up how to do sections. So sections help you group, organize your students so that they're in a particular section that need particular, maybe this section needs more time, maybe this section needs more visuals. It might be different things like that.
Rox,
Okay,
can I
I have
chime in
a
on that?
question.
Yes, please.
So if you do not have sections that you will, that's based on the registrar. So if you're a teacher and you will have students, those parents will automatically be aligned with students. You don't have to do anything. All that data is automatic. And so you'll see that populate as soon as you start seeing students. And then you'll also start seeing parents at the same time. But registrars at different campuses are at different points in entering that data into eSchool Plus.
Okay, I have a question about that. So when you add, I mean, when the parents are getting, is that just an automatic email out of the eSchool Plus? I mean, we don't have to enter, like if I want to just talk to a parent or just the second period parents, if I hit my second period class or, you know, choose that, would it, I don't have to worry about the emails for parents, do I?
This essentially will be the email to parents. It's tied to their personal email address. So if you send a message through the inbox, that's how you can send those messages to parents. And you can send them all at once, or if it's something specific to one parent, you also have that option, or to a certain period as well.
Okay.
Yes, and it goes to the email that the parent submitted when they registered their child. And they could, it's defaulted for them to go to that email without ever being in Canvas. So if you have a parent that's never been in Canvas, these emails are supposed to go directly to that email that they put in the registration. All right, so we're going to keep going. Here is Commons. So we're going to click on Commons. Commons, a repository of items that can be for anyone that has been working in Canvas, any institution or district, right? Or it can be if you're looking for something specific in regards to what Corpus Christi has put in there. So it's a place where it holds modules. If you look over here in the filter, it's going to show you all the different things. So here's we don't ever want to download a course, so stay away from there. We have modules, we have assignments, we have quizzes, discussions, pages, documents, videos, audios, and even images. So if you're looking for a particular module, your content specialist might put in a module and they'll give you the title. This year, what we're trying to do is when you get your course from the district, it's called a blueprint course because the specialists have gone in there and put in some content for you by module. Some of them did an entire grading period, the first grading period. Some of them did the first 2 weeks. So after you run out of modules that are prepared for you, if they've put some that they've prepared in Commons, you would go here to go find it, and then you would download it into your course. If they did not prepare something, you could still come here to go find things that people have put together. You would, because you don't know what it is, you could download it into your sandbox, take a look at it, and decide if that's something you want to put in a live course. So I have it clicked on modules.
Do we get notified if a new module has been put in?
Yeah, hopefully the specialist will let you know, or maybe your IT chair, your content chair might have had a meeting with the specialist and they'll let them know if there's things in there. We're doing it that way because last year there was a lot of placeholders with nothing in it, and this time we're going to say, you know, if they're looking for something, they can go look for it and they can download themselves, kind of giving teacher autonomy. So right here,
I'm sorry, can I ask a real quick question here?
sure. Mm-hmm.
At Mary Grant, we have our classes are divided into transition 1, 2, and 3, which means our first year students, second year students, third year students. Could we put our second and third into Commons and then pick it up to insert them into one tile, because having those 3 tiles, we have to, they're all learning the same thing, but we have to copy and paste our lesson plans and assignments into all 3 modules. And to try and avoid that, would we be able to share them into Commons, like the second and third, and then merge them into the first?
Yes. So one thing that's good is if you're at an elementary school and you are the math, you're departmentalized as the math teacher, but the other teachers have the same math tile, but they're teaching other things, then even at the high school, if you want to share a module, you're really proud of it, there's a lot of great activities in there and you've shared it, you can share it up to Commons just for CCISD, and then you will let your people or the people you're sharing with, let them know what the name is, and there is a naming convention. They will go look for it, and then they will download it into their courses. So that would be a way that you could share some of the modules that have already been created for you and prepared. It gets a little tricky when you want to keep content separated. You don't want to put math and reading and social studies, because if you think about it, in elementary, students have a red folder for English, a blue folder for math, a green for social studies, and an orange for science. There's something separate in each one of those. Those are your tiles. Each of those different color folders are a different tile. So just be careful as to what you decide to put in there. We want to keep the content separate to help the students stay organized. So if it's a little bit more than that, Ms. De La Rosa, you can just email and we can talk offline. All right, so we're still in the filters. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna say, okay, I'm looking for 6th and maybe 7th grade, and I'm looking for a module. And right here at the bottom, I can say, do I want anything out there, public resources, or do I want just specific Corpus Christi? If your school is in here, and I don't think they're all in there, you would choose your school. But here I'm gonna choose Corpus Christi, and then I'm gonna click off of it. When I click off, I see there's some here, Ms. Tayeb, I believe she's at Brown. This one says Canvas Help and Canvas Student Orientation. So there's some things in here and they're up for grabs. They're free. You can go ahead and put them. I would drop them into your sandbox so you could take a look at it and make sure it is what you want. If there's one that's in there that's specific to a grade level, here's the kind of the naming convention. We have CCISD, Reading ELA. I'm not sure what the X is. This is for 7th grade. This is IG's 1.2 block. Here's pre-AP. Sometimes they'll put in there if it's a quiz or if it's a module. There's another one, CCISD Texas History, grade 7, IG 1.4, Natural Texas and its people. So there's already things in there. You can take a look at them. What we didn't do, Dennis, is we didn't put a year on it. So some of these might be from last year. Some of them might be from this year. So that might be something we might want to add to our naming convention. If you,
Roxana,
yes.
how do you put it into your sandbox?
Happy you asked. We're going to do that right now.
Okay.
So, for instance, this one here. Well, I was kind of curious in the on this one here. So I'm going to click on this one. Let's say, you know, I teach 7th grade social studies and I want this one. Ruben Rocha made that one. He's the content specialist. So when I open it up, this says it's for IG 1.7. So the first grading period, 7th week, and it already shows me what's in there. It's kind of giving me a preview. I see content. The little bubbles are discussions. Here's a content page. I see a little rocket, which is a quiz. And here's another quiz. Man, this looks really good. I really like it. I can go to details is what I was thinking that that would be where you would see when they put it in there. Let me see if there's a date. I don't see a date, which is something I'm going to suggest that we start putting the date in there, at least in here in the details. If they put this in Commons and then added 2 more assignments, they could update the module and they would have to say this is the 2nd version because I've added something, and they would even tell you what they added. So you would get a little message saying your module that you downloaded was updated, and you could click on it to get the update. But let me go back here to the preview one more time. and show you that it not only shows you what's on the inside, but here on the left, it tells me it's one module. There's 3 pages, 4 discussions, and 2 quizzes. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is good. I like it. The way you would download it is this blue button here. It says import and download. I'm going to click on that button. And it's going to give me, you won't have as many as I do, but it's going to give you your courses. So you can put them in all, maybe you teach, you have 2 course titles. One is Social Studies Grade 7, and then Social Studies Pre-AP 7. You would just click all of them, or you just click the ones you want. So I'm going to go down here so you can see it. You won't have this many. So like say for instance here, see how it's light blue? When I go ahead and click on the course where I want it to land, the blue gets brighter and now it's ready to import. So I would just click it wherever I want to put it, and then I can click import into course and it would land there and it would be good to go. The one thing you want to know is that you have to know, I'm going to get out of there, what it is you're downloading. In this particular case, I am downloading a module. So when I go look for it in the course that I drop it in, I'm going to look in the modules. If I go grab a quiz, I'm going to look in quizzes. If I go grab an assignment, I'm going to go look in assignments. And I'll show you more of that in a little bit. But that's how you would do that. If you need a little bit more help, there might be someone maybe you have a mentor if you're new that they can help you a little bit more. If not, you can contact us and we can give you some more information. If you have,
So I'm sorry, since that one had a module and page and discussions and quizzes, will it all stay together or each part is going to go into a separate?
yes and yes. It will land in your module index page all together just the way it has it, like a module, but automatically anything in there that is like pages, discussions, and quizzes will also land separately in those things. So all the pages will go to the pages, all discussions will go to discussions, and so forth. But because it's a module, it'll land as a module also. So it'll do both. Great question. No one's ever asked me that. Very nice. All right. I can go back to search and I have a filter. I can go in there and I can turn off all my filters. I don't want that. I just kind of want to see what's in there. Turn everything off. I do want to get it from Corpus Christi. And then now if I wanted to type in, I don't know, let's try fractions. I could go and see, this is 3-2, so it looks like there's fractions here. Jennifer Martinez, 3rd grade, put that in there. And you can kind of go see what's available and kind of play with it that way. Again, when you don't know what you're downloading, you would download it into your sandbox, look at it, play with it, and see what you're thinking in regards to if you like it or you don't. And then if you do like it, you can then put it into your course. You can also clean it up in your sandbox and then put that new module that has been cleaned up back into Commons under for yourself, and then bring it down into the live course. So that's a whole bunch there. We're going to keep moving, but that's definitely a skill that you're going to want to have. The next icon is the backpack. The backpack is one of the icons that your students will also have on theirs. It takes them to the rapid identity, and that is where you will find the digital textbooks and resources that we have for our students. Let me see if I can just click go. I changed my password 2 days ago. That was fun. Let's see if that will go.
Miss Roxana?
Yes.
Miss Roxana?
Yes.
Hi, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm not having any type of coordination between your voice and the screen sharing. I'm not even learning anything because there's no coordination. I'm aware that it's not your fault. There's technical glitches, but are the backup videos going to be clean so that I can review a clean copy?
Yes, ma'am. The videos are clean. I'm recording on my side, and right now my Wi-Fi is working well. You could try maybe getting closer to the router and or going out and coming back in and see if that helps it.
Thank you so much, and I'm sorry.
Yes, that's okay. All right, so when you click on the rapid identity, it takes you here. If there's nothing on your screen, you have to click on applications, and then these things come up. So as a teacher, you have your specific courses or specific textbooks that you're assigned, and any often the students have the same thing. If you don't have a textbook in there and you know that you have it, I think like McGraw-Hill's for mathematics, then you need to contact your content specialist and they will help you get that. Some of them you have to pay for licenses, so they have to put it on your dashboard for you. Notice that up here, I have one that's in green and one that's in red. The perimeter is red here and the perimeter there is green. The green ones mean that they are single sign-on. They click on it and it takes them directly, takes the students directly where they want to go. The red one means that you have to put in another password, possibly another login. And so it's kind of a gatekeeper to only allow those that have the access to those textbooks. So this is what we have here. Some of the ones you might want to know about is learning.com. That one is for, I believe, K-8. And the students can go in there and learn a little bit about technology. There's some interactive videos that teach them about PowerPoints or slides, teaches them about documents, how to use a mouse, and how to, one of them is the keyboarding. There's an adaptive keyboarding in there. Depending on how they type, they can go in there and practice. For the elementary teachers, you can put your current vocabulary or spelling words inside of learning.com, and the homework will be that the students are practicing their keyboarding, but they're practicing with the spelling words for that week. So if you have something like that, that's something you want to contact your IT specialist, and they will help you get started on that idea. Dennis Wisner's with us also. Do you want to throw in a plug on that, Mr. Wisner? Oh, I'm sorry. Is he still there? He might have just left. He just has his session just started right now, 2 o'clock. Okay, so he's in charge of learning.com in our office. And so again, there's ways that you can put the spelling words or the vocabulary words in the adaptive keyboarding so they can practice that keyboarding and the spelling words at the same time. Here's Mayan. Mayan is in regards to reading. And I think that's it. Here's Canvas. If you're trying to get to Canvas, there's another way to get there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead.
So the students, are they gonna get into my CCISD, or, well, how do they get to Canvas?
Okay, so returning students will go to, let's go ahead and show you that. I'm gonna close that for a second. Any school website. So I always go to Ray because it's 3 letters, but you could go to Brown, you could go to Atkins, Castores, whatever it would be. It's the school.ccisd.us. I'm going to click here on the Canvas button that's right on the top on this opening page. When they click on there, it's going to ask them to sign in. And if they remember their username, they're going to put in their username. For Canvas, you have to do that at ccisd.us because Canvas is, there's lots of places that have it. And so it will have them log in and they put in their password and then they're in. Notice that I didn't get that screen because it recognizes that I'm on a school computer. I've already logged in and knows who I am. So it took me directly to my page. But if I were a student, it would ask me to log in and put in my password. If they don't know their username, I believe they might be getting some information in the emails coming out shortly. I know that parents probably are going to be getting something soon because they're going to need their usernames too. But ultimately, the students can go to my.ccisd.us. I'll go ahead and put that in the chat box for you. And then sometimes they can't remember the answers to the security questions. And so what you're going to want them to do is they can contact the school. Specifically, the librarian should be able to get into the system and tell them what their username is. Now, if they're contacting you, I think I'll do that. Remind me to do that. We have about 30 minutes left. There's a place in People where you can tell them what their username is. And then it will be a matter of them coming up with their password. As it gets a little tricky because the passwords are all going to be reset here pretty soon before the school starts, and it'll be 9 digits. The first 3 are the school code number. For Carol, it would be like 001. I think they're 001, and then it's their 6-digit ID number. So that's what they usually reset all the students to at the beginning of the year. So if they just
You said that was their password? Or
yes,
sign in?
their password gets
Okay.
at the beginning. So it's the 3 digits for their code,
Okay.
and with the 6 digits from their ID.
They can be reset, right?
Yeah, the secondary students, they go in there. Once they're in there in the my.ccic.us, they put that in there, they can change it to something else. I think the librarian has the most power in helping the students figure out their username and password. Okay. But yeah, so, okay, we'll get there in just a second. All right, so I'm gonna go down here, the backpack, the curriculum, CCIC curriculum. I did run into a couple of people with this button. As a teacher or an educator, you have rights to be in here. Your students will not have that button. Your parents will not have that button. So if you don't have the CCIC curriculum, you need to email me and I will forward it to the person in charge of it. But if you haven't seen it, this is where all the instructional guides are. And here's the elementary. So if you're in 3rd grade science, you go to 3rd grade and go down to science. You click on there and it takes you to the course or the module where those IGs are at. Middle school is further down, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then high school is at the very bottom. So depending on what you're looking for, that's where you would go to get the information. Again, students and parents do not have access to this. This is just for teachers.
Ms. Guerrero.
Yes.
Hi, I have a question. I'm a homebound teacher, so at times I have different grade levels. And when I've had to go in to see the different IGs, sometimes they're locked. Like I can't see them for certain grade levels. Last year I had issues between the elementary grade levels. So I could see that there was something in there, but they were locked. And until somebody would grant me quote unquote access, I wouldn't be able to see them. Who would I talk to about that?
It's always going to be your content specialist. So are you elementary or secondary?
I am all level. So I have elementary and secondary.
Okay, so like science, for elementary it would be Marie Kimbrough, and then secondary would be Wendy DeVoe. So it's just different people for different grade levels for different content. So as soon as you can figure it out, then they'll be able to help you get into those Google Docs. It should be anyone with the link can view, but sometimes they forget to do it or the links break or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we do multiple levels, multiple grades, multiple subjects, we have to contact all those different people?
If you have a problem in each one, yes. Because if it's a Google file, then they're the owners of the file. And so they have to open it up. And it should already be done unless something happened. So always go back to your content specialist when it has to do with curriculum and something you can't see. Now I see here, Sonia.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay,
I sent you that email and I got the full global bar now and I was excited. But then when I clicked it open, it said access denied.
Right. So every teacher, educator should have access to that. And I'm not sure who's in charge of that part, but that's a different right. And so if you shoot an email, I'll try to figure out who's in charge of that. All right, let's keep going. Right down here is the help button. So we're going to click on help. Help, there's different ways to do it. So you have to decide if you want to type and do like a chat feature, texting back and forth. That's going to be right here. Chat with a Canvas support. So this is people that work for Canvas. And I text them myself. This is texting. And we're just texting back and forth. And sometimes they have me come up here and grab this URL. And I put it in the text. And then they go to the exact page that I'm at. And we try to figure out what's going on. This is 24/7, and this is for faculty. That's you. The next one is the Canvas support hotline. Again, 24/7. If you're up at 3 in the morning and you're trying to finish that quiz, and you're trying to get it done and there's a glitch, you can try calling them and talking to someone live to help you get through that. And then the last one is the Canvas guides. The Canvas guides right here. We're going to click on that one, and you can decide if you're more of a reader. I'm going to do it on my own video and let them show you. So right here on Canvas guides, here's a little trick. I'm going to do control left click. That one allows me to keep this page, but opens the one I clicked on in a separate window. So if you've never done that before, you can do that. So here's my second window. And right here, this is Canvas guides. These are how-to guides. And I can say, you can offer this, your parents, your observers, and your students have this. So they can go over here to the observer guide. They can go to the student guide. You would go to the instructor. So I'm gonna click on instructor guide. And right, you can go through some of those things there, but here's the introduction. Here's a little bit on those new analytics. Oh, all of this is new analytics. So here's something where you can go take a look at it. And then right here is announcements and assignments, and it just keeps going. These are all how-to. So if this went too slow or too fast for you, this is where you go and you can read about all the things that we want to teach you. In the announcements, the third one says, how do I add an announcement in the course? So I can click on there. It's going to tell me to take me to a how-to guide that I can read. It's telling me exactly where I can click. It's showing me all the little pieces in the windows and what I do with them. So if you're a reader, you're like, oh yeah, this is good. If you're not a reader or you're really tired and you want to just kind of have someone kind of tell you about it, then what you can do is go over here to the video guides. This video guide here, I can click on that one. And it's going to be, again, lots of different videos. These videos are 2 to 3 minutes long. They're perfect. I watch them all the time. Here's for all users. Administrators are for your principals. Right here for instructors. And look at the first one, announcement overview. So when I click on that, it does take me to a video. It's about 2 to 3 minutes long, and it's going to talk to me about how to announce, how to make announcements. So we'll just watch a little bit. 10 seconds of it.
In this video, you will get an overview of announcements. You can use announcements to communicate course information to students. For example, you can remind students of upcoming coursework, share useful resources, or celebrate student success.
So see how I was able to show you a video on my Zoom? That's also something you need to learn how to do to be able to share the computer audio. But there's lots of videos in there. You can go in there and just on your own when you're like on a Saturday afternoon and you don't have anything to grade or nothing to plan, or I'm gonna go watch a video. That's when you go watch that. Or you can email Roxana, just tell me because I don't have time. I got too many papers to grade. I don't know. Okay, so in your Canvas guide, you have the chat, the hotline, and the Canvas guides that are either readable or viewable. All right, how are we doing? Tell me in the chat box if this has actually been helpful to go straight through the global navigation and get a little bit more about what is in Canvas. This is the first time we've done this, and I know we had a lot of people that it was a little bit hard for them to understand what it was about. We haven't even gone into the content, we just did the global navigation. So how are we doing? Is it informative? This has been helpful, very good. Oh, good, I'm so glad. Okay, very nice. So now what we're gonna do is I am gonna go back to my dashboard. Yay, Sonia, she says helpful. I've never had this overview. I know, like I was like learning things like, well, I didn't know about those 3 little dots and everything it was doing. I was like, okay, very good. All right, so I'm gonna go back to my dashboard. I'm gonna go back inside. So for about the next 10 minutes, I just kind of want to tell you a little bit about what you might see. And really, this is my sandbox. When you go into your sandbox, oh, here's the course navigation. These are the blue letters is the course navigation. This is specific to this course. So over here, on this side, I have home, syllabus, announcement, modules. That is consistent throughout the district. So if you don't have it in that order, you need to put it in that order. I notice that I have discussions, Nearpod, and people showing, but everything else that has an eyeball with a line through it means that it's not showing. That means the students cannot see it. So if I want to see what they can see or not see, here's something that's kind of cool. Over here on the right-hand side, the right-hand panel, there's a student view. When I click on that button, it puts a like a fuchsia pink perimeter all the way around. And now I know I'm in the student view. Notice that everything below people that I had listed as a teacher, that's gone. They can't see that. So that's how I determine what they get to see.
Hey, Ms. Guerrero, how did
Yes,
you get to that? How did you
Okay.
get?
Let me show you how to get out. Down here it says leave student, that button out. But I was on my syllabus page. You can do it on the syllabus page. You can do it on your home page, which is your syllabus page. Over here on the right-hand side, number 1, 2, 3, like the 6th one down says student view. If you click on it, it will show you what your students see. And you can go in and say, okay, so they're gonna be able to see this. They're gonna see my syllabus. You go to modules to find the content. So click on modules, and only the things that I publish are the things that they're gonna be able to see. So it looks like I have 2 modules in there, and it looks like I have some things in there. Only what I publish is what they're able to see. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this student view. At the bottom right, it says leave student view. I'm gonna click on that. And
Hey, I don't have the modules one beneath the, I have syllabus, announcements, and then Google Drive.
okay, so I'll show you that in just a second. So notice here on my modules, I have this is a title, it says Summer PD Ninja, it's green, good. Quiz Samples is not green, it has a line through it, so this one is not published, and the Apprentice one here is published. So I have 2 that are published and 1 that is not. Remember when I went to the student view, I only could see 2 modules? That's because I did not publish this 3rd one. Now, when I click in here, let's click on this one, and I expand it, everything in here is viewable, is visible because I have it all checked. It's all green. When I go open up the other one and expand it, notice that some of these are green, and look right here, these 2 are not, they're not published, and this one is not published. So the order that you need to know for publishing, number 1, your course has to be published so that they can actually see when they click on the course, they go to the syllabus. If you don't have your course published, they can't even get in. The second level is your module. Your module has to be published. So if I turn this off right here, or like the one I was showing you, this one is to expand the quiz samples. This one is not published. Look at right here, it's not published. It doesn't matter what I have on the inside. If the module itself is not published, they can't see these. It's not until I decide to go ahead and publish this module that everything gets viewable. And if I don't want them to see all these quizzes, maybe this is 1st week, 2nd week, 3rd week, I can turn off inside the module some of the ones I don't want them to see and decide when I'm gonna go ahead and show them. If you have lesson plans in there, they might say lesson plans 3.2 do not publish. That's when you click on that button to publish it, everything turns on. See how it's all on? You can go in and say, I'm gonna turn these off. Or if it says lesson plan do not publish, turn that one off too. That's important because when the pandemic was happening, I had like 200 emails. My students can't see it, but it's published. My students can't see it, but it's published. Yeah, they published it. They published all this right here, beautiful, but they forgot to publish the module. And then maybe 20 of them, they didn't even publish the course. So you have to publish the course. So once you get all the publishing under control, then it makes a little bit more sense. Let's go back to Mr. Vasquez's question. You can't see it here. And really, at the beginning, especially for elementary, we probably don't need all of this here. So what I'm gonna do is, in my course navigation, I'm gonna go to settings. Whoops, click the wrong one. Go to settings. Go to settings. I pushed the wrong one. And at the top, it usually lands on this page, the course details. Here's that section. If you wanted to make a section and add people, that's what you would do it. And here's navigation. So in navigation, there's a little paragraph right here in the middle that says drag items here to hide them from students. So I have to grab my people and pull it down. It doesn't matter where it lands, as long as it lands underneath the paragraph. So we have home, syllabus, announcement, modules, and that's all I wanted to show. I would scroll down to the bottom and hit save. Excuse me. This is one of the only pages that there's others, but in this page, if you do all that work and don't save it, then you get to do it again. Because when you first, all of these things might be on the top side and you just click and drag them real fast. And when you finish, then you go and you save it.
Híjole.
Right? Híjole.
Day.
Oh my gosh, that is like the perfect word at the perfect time. Híjole.
Right.
Okay. Now I want to show you, let's go, we're going to run out of time here, so we're going to do a little bit more. I'm going to go back inside modules, and I'm going to close these out so you can see. I'm just shrinking them, you know, expand and shrink. Now, I want to put in a module because maybe they didn't prepare one for me for 1.3, the third week in school, and I'm ready to go ahead and put something together. So I'm going to go here to my blue button that says plus module. So I'm going to click plus module. It wants me to name it. So I'm going to do first week, first grading period, third week, so 1.3. And hopefully maybe we're just adding integers, whatever it might be. And if you wanted to, you could put in the date because parents won't know what 1.3 is. And I don't know if this is the right date, but I'm going to guess the 17th through 21st, something like that. When you do this, you want to make sure that your module headings and your module items all have unique titles. So I'm going to say add module. So it adds it down here at the bottom. I have these 8 little dots. I can grab the 8 little dots and move it up because maybe I want it to be at the top. And if I am if I'm already starting my second grading period and all these down here we're done with, I can go ahead and turn all of these off and they'll be down at the bottom. The students won't see them. We can keep it nice and clean and not clutter. So here it is. Now here's a little tidbit for you. As I'm working in this module, I want to keep it not published because one of the complaints last year was that they had that content, there's new content in there. So the parent like, oh, okay, here, there's a content page that are going to want you to read this little book. We can do that. This would be good. And we'll go ahead and budget our time. And then 5 minutes later, oh, here's something else. It's an assignment. Oh, so we're going to read it. We're going to do something. Okay, we can do that. We can budget our time. And so if you have it turned on, every time you publish something, the parent gets information. So one thing to do is go ahead and prepare the whole thing, get it ready, and then publish it all at once. All right, so here we go. We're gonna go here to the right of the title. There's a little plus sign. We're gonna click the plus sign. The first thing we're gonna do is add a page. A page is where you can add content. So we're gonna say, I'd like to start with the first grading period, third week, and we're gonna do adding integers. And maybe this is a video, and I can say add item. I'm gonna go back again, and I'm gonna go over here to the right. I'm gonna add another piece to my module. This time, I'm gonna add an assignment. So I'm gonna click on assignment. It's gonna be a new assignment. I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go 1.3. I can do the same thing, adding integers. And this is going to be assignment. So you can do as much information as you like. Assignment, if you have a page, I don't know, page 101, something like that. If you wanted to, you can indent it. So I'm going to put 2 indents and then I add item. So I have a video, I have an assignment. If I was ready to add a quiz, I would go plus. I would go over here to plus to add my quiz. I would say new quiz. And then again, keeping it unique, adding integers. And then I'm gonna maybe put, maybe, I don't know, maybe I say multiple choice and maybe it's number 2, whatever it might be. And then there it is. So I've already started my module. So a module, if you can think of your, the packets that the students maybe picked up at the end of the year, they're physical packets made out of paper that they're holding in their hand. That is their offline packet. This is their online packet. So your module is a packet of pages put together to help them learn the skill for that week. So we have here, all we did was the placeholders. We have a page. There's a page there. We have a page with the pencil. This is my assignment. And we have the rocket that is my quiz. You would then go inside here, click on the title. So that's the page I'm going to work on. I would go to my, whoops, that always happens to me. Let me go back. I'm trying to click on edit and that other one shows up. Let me see. Adding integers. I'm going to be patient. There it is. I'm going to edit to go inside of this page. And then this is called my rich content editor. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to say, here's just where I'm going to put my instructions. And you give as much instructions as you want. You want to make it 18 points or higher. You want to bold it. You want to add color, something like that. And you just put in your instructions and then you would add a video. I think what I'm going to do here, go ahead.
Let's get at them.
Yes.
That rich content and what is it? Rich content?
Editor. Rich
Okay,
content.
the RCE.
Yes.
On this bar above this box that you just typed in.
Yes.
If we don't have everything, I remember yesterday they said we could turn a button on. What button was that?
Yes, sir. Let me go ahead and tell here that this is just for content. If you click this button here, you can add it to the student's to-do list and put a due date. And then you would go and save and publish. So you could publish even though the module's not published. So there's probably going to be more sessions where you learn a little bit more about how to add things using the rich content editor. We're coming to the end of our session, but I wanted to show you how you would start adding things in your module. And then probably in the Ninja or some of the other ones, they'll show you how to add the videos and everything. There's so much to learn. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. But let me go here. Content editor was one line and the old one has 2 lines. So I'm going to go here to my course navigation, click on settings. And inside the settings, remember we had course details all the way across. We have feature options. When I click on feature options, right down here is the RCE enhancement. I would have to turn that one on. If I don't have it, I would recommend that you do so you can start practicing. It's a little bit user-friendly more than the other one. I'm going to turn it off so you can see what it looks like. This one, you don't have to save it. You can just go back to modules. I'm going to go show you that same page we were working on. And then I'm going to come over here to edit. And then now, this is the old one. This is what you're familiar with if you were here last year. It has 2 lines. See how it has 2 lines? The new one has 1 line with a little skinny snowman. And when you click on the skinny snowman, these are the ones that come up. So they kind of hid the second line. But it's a good way to tell if you have the old one or the new one. They told me that they would change it in the middle of the summer and they didn't. So I'm just recommending that you go ahead and click it so it turns on to the new one so you can learn it. Do switch it, it doesn't surprise you.
Do we have to do that on each tile? For each course?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
You only have to do it once, and once you do it, you're good. So you just, yeah. And if you couldn't maybe do it on one, the new one, and the rest the old, so there you can practice, and you can always go back to the other one. That's okay too. Okay, just to refresh.
Thanks, Roxanne.
Yes, we did. Don't leave yet. We got to give you your code number. We did notifications. We navigated the entire global navigation. We just looked. We did a little bit on creating modules. We talked about publishing, and then I think we did some things in the settings. So what I'm going to do now, let's go here. I want to put in the chat box. While I'm doing this, your ticket out the door. Before you leave, I'm going to give you your Google form and your secret code. While I'm doing that, if you put in the chat box, how are you feeling now? This is the 2-word checkup. How do you feel now that you've been here for an hour and a half learning about Canvas? Are you feeling better? How are you feeling? Tell me a little bit more about what you're thinking.
I feel more confident.
Go ahead and do that for me.
I don't understand what this code is.
I see, a little bit better, more familiar, good. And much better, good, awesome. So today it was just about getting familiar with Canvas. Okay, here we go, Control C. This is gonna go in the box, doing a little bit better, good. It's a lot, you can always go back and check it. Did I do it? Let me see. Okay, so the Google form with the secret code, you're gonna click on the link And this is Canvas Expectations with Roxana Guerrero. It's from 1 to 2:30. And your code word is French blue. Blue. My husband, I said, what color do you think this is? He goes, French blue. I'm like, okay. And it just stuck with me, French blue. So that's going to be your code word, French blue. And if you have any other questions, you can just shoot me an email, roxana.guerrero@ccisd.us. This is very basic. You're ready now to move forward. You know where the Canvas guides are and the videos. You also have an IT specialist that works with your school specifically. And you also have an IT chair that's there to help you. Your Canvas super user is also good at all of this. So elementary, you'll learn more about Canvas tomorrow. Middle school and high school, hopefully you've done your homework in the blended learning. And so I thank you for letting me spend time with you. I hope you had a good day. And if you hurry over to Brandy, she's going to be talking a little bit more about communication. And there's some other ones that are starting there. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you all and have a great day.